circuit testers.
Hello and welcome
I
to
bought one
the interior
a while ago
Cabrio
before I started this project,
and it arrived and it worked.
So this is my project track car.
Right up
It's
until
a
the
car,
end of its warranty period.
running
And then one day I was using it
and all-wheel drive
running
gear.
gears.
Outside its warranty period by
And there's
then.
a bit of wiring
And
to
I
take care of.
energised
So,
a relay. And
Ancel
jammed
sent
on
me an email saying they
ground
wanted to
forevermore, and
send products
every reading
for
after that was
testing,
ground,
and they
and
gave
it
me a
was
list of
absolutely
things I could
useless by
pick
this
from.
point.
The
And
only
I
thing I
decided
kept
to
from
pick
it
their
was
power probe
these extension
circuit
cables,
tester, and
and there's a
cable for
reason
connecting
for
it
that.
to
So
the
this
battery
isn't my first
and
of
the cigarette
these
lighter. That
kinds
was
of
all that survived of the previous version of this power probe. So I'm intrigued to see if this version, which is all in black, lasts any longer than the previous one. So this is their PB100 circuit probe. Basically, it allows you to test circuitry and energize components, which I will hopefully show you in a moment for that to make sense. Here is the plastic box that you receive. You obviously get a big long extension cable that plugs into the big long extension cable that's already on it, which I have found is rather handy. See, for things like the pickup, the Hilux, this usually doesn't reach front to back, and I mean like the back where the tow bar connection is, so it is actually handy to have the long cable, and you get obviously the cable that plugs in the circuit lighter and the one that clicks directly on the battery. Now, as I say, the previous version of this died in about like 12 months, and that was it, it was died. Here is, and some of you maybe even recognise these, here's my original, I think this one was a Sealy brand, Super Probe. Now, when I first started kind of mechanicking and car DIYing with my dad, who's a mechanic all of his years, he bought me this, and I think this was like £70 when I got it. And that was a lot of money for, you know, for the DIY, not DIY, but you know, for a young boy. And it still works. It still works. It still beeps when it brings. That's positive. That's a negative sound. So like that, you just test things, and you don't even have to see it. You can have it stuck out in front and energize something. And you hear doing that, you go, yes, it's got a positive signal. Now, this is so old, it doesn't have LED lights. It has, in one of these turns I'm on, incandescent bulbs. Look, there are incandescent bulbs inside there. Actual incandescent bulbs. That's how old this is. And this is still going. I mean, this is now 15 plus years old. This is how long this has survived. And like I say, the orange thing attached to this didn't last a month. Didn't last a year. So we've got high hopes. No high hopes. We've got some hopes of this working. So here is the probing head, and I didn't need to read instructions because I've had one before. And in there lives the tip, and you have to jam the tip right in, because the inside connection of this on the probe end is quite deep. So like, if you put that in there, that's not actually connected at all yet. You've got to push that bad boy deep down inside without stabbing yourself in the hand with this bit. And it's here is your tight fit. There it goes. Right, so that is it actually now seated onto the connection. Allow me to unfankle some of these wires. That in there, plug that in there. As I say, right, you've got a red and a black, and red and a black straight on your battery terminals. I won't show you that because the battery of the Cabrio is deep in the back there. I have misty tie. Alright, I will connect this. Well, I'm going to connect one to the battery and one to the body because there's not enough room for everybody in here. I'll put that one on there, that one on there, someone. Oh god, I hope that's attached. Right, and you can go on here, and hopefully they should have lit up. Yay! Can you see? Let me get that out of the way. It's lit up, and it should now be showing 0 volts, and the LED lights on the top have come on. This red button here, this goes through the modes. So I'll go back to starter so you can see. It's not exactly responsive either. So voltage DC, most useful in your automotive vehicles. Voltage AC is, it's not for testing mains voltage, it's for testing components, like if you want to see motors or outputs of device which don't give a straight DC voltage, because on there's a maximum and minimum voltage and the frequency in hertz, so you can actually see, like if it's a PWM circuit, you should be able to see the hertz of it doing something, and I haven't actually got anything PWM in here at the moment. Next one is resistance, so you can test resistance of components. For example, again, for example, motors, etc. Things that should have a resistance that you know, or perhaps even something like a glow plug, like if you're expecting a really low resistance for your glow plug when it's really high, so you know it's fucked at that point. That's also another test. You can do a spark test on glow plugs, but that's for another day. And the other one's a diode test for making sure diode's one way and not the other. So if I was to press this against a ground source, is this ground? No, no, that is. Oh, that is horrible. Can you hear that noise? That is the ground noise. Okay, that's going to confuse me. I am used to a continuous tone and positive. Oh, that is dog shit, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not even going to lie. What a fucking terrible design. Right. Positive. Ground. Right, that's terrible. Like, here's our comparison. Right, pushing forwards on this toggle switch makes it do, is it positive? Okay, that gives you a positive tip. Listen. Okay, that's the beep for positive. And you push the switch back, and you'll get a negative. That is a negative. Compare that to my 15-year-old Sealy tool. Positive, negative. You cannot get those two fucking tones mixed up. You cannot mistake this beep for this beep. Instead of chirpy chirp, kind of beepy beep. So imagine a scenario. You've poked your probe in somewhere under the dashboard or outside that you can't see. You energise your component via the switch because you want to know if it turns on. And from somewhere in the car you can hear, you know that's a positive signal. You absolutely know, 100% that's a positive. You do the same thing, you can't see this. You've plugged it in, you're going to energise your component, you hear this noise. And you're like, so which one of the two is that? Bear in mind, granted, right, if you were using this all day, every day, I guarantee you would probably have memorised the beeps that it makes. But like us, like you and me, we're DIY. We're only going to fish this out every now and again. And to have this somewhere you can't see it and go, is that the positive or the negative tone? Is that the positive tone? Is it? I can't see on the screen. Oh, that's the positive tone. Right, marvellous. Right. Ugh. Right, so you've lost points for that already. So one of the things you can do with this, obviously you can energise components. It does have a ground lead attached right onto the base of here, so this provides you with a ground source, as you can hear from the beeping, which means you can plug that on to give something ground and then energise the rest of it with the tip, which is what we're going to do with the electric window connection over here. I'm just putting this on the floor just now. To the floor! So, this is my electric window over here. My electric window. The buttons are absent, as is the wiring, funnily enough. So, I should be able to take you down somewhere, and I will zoom in, hopefully, on the wiring. Let me see if I can do this one-handed. Right. Join me down here. So these wires here these are the various wires for this door. These right, yeah, this is the original Ford wiring. I've just cut the ends off the wires, and at some point I'm going to have to find the Subaru wires to make the windows go up and down, or I might buy a separate module to make the windows activate. Now, I know it's some of these wires. I'm going to guess that there's 2 for the door lock and 2 to make the electric window go up and down. But at the moment I cannot remember which one is which, so I will be as surprised as you are if this test works. So our first test I'm going to do is this in shot mostly. I'm going to set this to ohms, that one, and that one, and I'm going to connect this half to one of the wires, this wire, this crocodile clip, that's what I'm looking for. Oh, it's very slidey. Right, crocodile clip on here. I'm going to do a resistance test on this one. Go. No resistance. No resistance. And continuity of basically 0. A continuity of 0. That in shot. Continuity 0 and beeping. Why is it beeping? I'm doing a... of course, it's beeping because it's seeing its own ground, isn't it? Yes. Okay, right. So that one and that one, the 2 purple, yellow, purple, green. Well, that makes kind of sense, doesn't it? 2 purples together. Okay, so now I should do a continuity test of orange, green, and white, and black. Do I have continuity on these ones? Why, yes, I've got 9K. Can we see the 9K on the screen? 9K. 8K. So that would make me think that's possibly the motor. So we will switch this over to energizing mode. And forward is a positive tone. So does this make it go window down? Nope, and I've incorrectly identified it. I heard the doors click. So the door lock has a high resistance and the electric window has almost 0 resistance. So if I put that on there and then put this on here and energize it with a positive, the window will either go up or down. Right, you can see we're basically directly connected, and right, that was up. If I put the probe on the other side, I can now energize this side. I'm in shot mostly, and energize. Hey, window goes down. Up. Yay. Swap 'em over. Window goes down. Smashing. And obviously I have to connect it back up the other way to make the window go back up. So at least I have identified purple as the power wires for the electric window. So that is that. I don't actually have anything AC, not AC voltage, but I can use the frequency counter. I don't have anything to test in here, unfortunately. Let me zoom you back out. So yeah, like I said, basically you're doing that by pressing the toggle switch there, which when you press it up, it gives you a 12 volt tip. The 12 volt directly from your battery goes to the tip, which allows you to energize things. Now, if this is the exact same as the other one, I'm sure it has a bit in the instructions where it says you shouldn't energize things with the switch, which is pretty dumb. What I mean is, what it wanted you to do is to activate the switch first. You would activate the switch and then touch your component. But that's not a great idea if you're digging about inside and you might activate the wrong thing. As I always stab it into where I want it and then activate the thing. I was hoping there was like a Oh, there's a diagram. I'll show you that. That's a good diagram to. So for signal testing, so this is what I want to show you with the AC voltage. You set it to AC, and then it lets you see like square waves from sensors, because that is technically an AC voltage. So you'll be able to test sensors to see what their pulse output is. Oh, an ABS speed sensor. That would be a good test on that. Plug your probe in the end, stab it in, and then spin a wheel, and then you would see the the sensor peaks and troughs of an AC wave, rather than just a pure DC positive or DC voltage. But that is practically it. Yeah. So what can it do? Right. It's supposed to allow you to output a 10 amps in the tip. What we got? Rating 1 to 10 amps. Testing standard 100%. Hold for more than 1 hour. So that means it can do 10 amps. So it should be able to do 10 amps for 1 hour. And 30 amps for about 4 seconds. Wouldn't really want to run 30 amps through, well, anything. I mean, like something like a glow plug. Like you just want to test it and see if it heats up a little bit, and then if it's mostly working. But that's that. So it works. Yes, it does. It absolutely does the thing where you touch it onto stuff and it shows you or makes you. It's not very fast though. It's okay. I mean, picking up. So here's a comparison, right? I'm going to touch it to ground, and then we'll see how long it takes for it to actually give you the ground signal. Right? Touch. Oh, touch. And stop. Touch. What's that like? Half a second? 15-year-old Sealy power probe. Absolutely instant. There is no delay whatsoever in you touch to sense. So, which one would I rather have in my toolkit? Both. Can I have both in my toolkit, please? I should say the Sealy one does have one LED in it. It's the one that changes colour. No, you have to go to a funny angle to see the inside it, because it's kind of fallen off inside. But it goes green and red. Red's important, but if you can see the red light, and it does. Oh, there's a green. You can see it now. And that one, the screen changes colour between red and green. I mean, it works. It does the thing. But like I say, I'm sure this was like £70 15 to 20 years ago, and I have no idea how much this is. I don't know. No, the one I bought must have been like in the £70 bracket, because I wasn't ready to spend £500+ on an actual power probe or super probe, whatever they call it, the red one that does like everything. But believe me, I have been tempted. So what are my final thoughts on the Ancel Power Probe 100? It does the job. It does the thing. And yes, it's nice to have an all-in-one device. I don't need a multimeter as well to go and do frequency and resistance. It's kind of handy having it all in one device. I just don't like the tones they chose. Why could you have made it two absolutely distinct tones so there was never going to be any confusion between ground and positive? Instead we got ground and positive. So yeah, I don't like that. Other than that, it appears to be made of fairly robust plastic. We'll see how long that holds up. I don't think this is any way, shape or form waterproof, and it definitely doesn't look waterproof. I can see inside through the beeper hole. It's not waterproof, so don't get it wet. But it comes with an immense length of wire. There's like monstrous lengths. I would look up, but this got to be like 10+ meters of cable at least, and nice bright working LEDs. I have to give it that over my old Sealy's incandescent bulbs. The LEDs are pretty bright. I can actually see underneath the dashboard where I'm going, and yeah. So I'm gonna leave a link to this in the description if you're interested in buying one. You know, use my link. It helps the channel buy other things, and hopefully you might be lucky and they might give you a discount code, and I can put a discount code in there as well, and we'll see if we can get a discount code in these. But yeah, handy to have, but I'd rather it beeped in an absolute way that was indistinguishable between positive and negative, and I shall leave you with that. Any comments, questions, anything else, leave them down below, and as always, thanks for watching.